There you go. Okay. 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 I'm sharing the link with okay. It looks like he's just logging in. He's on now. Okay. He's logging in now. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let me get in here. Oh, there we go. Hey.
There he is. Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for being here this morning. This is so exciting. I'm so excited.
Hey, me too. Very excited as well. I always like doing these Zoom meetings because I can be at home and get in and get out really quickly.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so I do have, I believe, one other person who's trying to get in right now.
Okay.
Um,
Greetings, greetings.
okay. All right. Cool. Excelente.
Okay, I'm trying to get a clear connection here.
Okay. All right. Yay, 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 yay.
Let me in on this other line because this one is kind of choppy.
Okay, we'll do. And also, I am also going to give you, let me see.
Okay, so can you how can you set up the screen so everybody can see everybody?
Up to the right hand corner, there should be a series of dots that says gallery.
Okay, gallery view, I see it.
Yes, and you can
All right, so Carl, nice to see you. Nice to see you. The last time I saw you, I was in one of your meetings, and actually, that particular meeting is on your website. I didn't even know it was on your website until last week.
Yes, it's been a while. Where you been, man?
Oh man, I've been spending a lot of time in the Bay Area. Right now, I'm actually I'm in Vacaville right now, in between the Bay Area and Sacramento, but I'm on my way back to Sacramento because
Okay.
yeah, we were gonna hang out at Half Moon Bay, but it's a cloudy day there today, and Sacramento is beautiful. It's a beautiful day in Sacramento today,
That it is.
and there's a lot of celebrations going on in Sacramento.
Yes.
oh boy.
So anyway, um, I think we could get started just with the people that we have here.
Yes,
Um,
sir. I want to just okay. First, let me first. So I want to let me see. Okay. So
and
greetings.
you're gonna have to watch. You're gonna have to watch for people coming in too, because you're gonna have to let the people come in as they show up.
Yes, we'll do. Definitely. Because like I said, I did share it and expect a couple of people to log in. So I just want to say thank you for being here. This is Minaima Safir, and I am the founder of New Connections and Empower You. New Connections is a platform for entrepreneurs and small business owners to share what they know, what they have, their service, their product, whatever it is that you have to offer, or whatever it is that you're looking to offer to people and or partner with people, clients, customers, partnerships, whatever it is you're looking for. You have the opportunity to share that information. And so New Connections is basically a platform for people to share empowering information with one another. I think that now is an incredible time for us to be doing these kinds of things, and we are privileged to have Mr. Carl Dexter as our guest speaker, and I want to thank Amen Ali for arranging this very informative session. And I would like to pass the baton to Amen if you want to do maybe a 30-second, 1 minute introduction of yourself, and then we can bring on our esteemed guest speaker.
Okay, well, I'm Amin Ali, and Naima is my cousin, and so we've been doing. Everybody's on lockdown. We've been doing these Zoom meetings occasionally, and we've been building and learning together, uh, trying to find new ways to take advantage of the many blessings that are happening right now. Right now, the world is changing. It looks like a lot of people feel that the world is coming to an end, and it actually is. The old way of doing things is coming to an end, and a better world is being birthed. So you know, it's we don't really. I mean, some of us are putting our focus on that world is going out, and we see the world going out, and we see, oh, the world's coming to an end, world's coming to an end. But there's a beautiful world that's being birthed right now. Things are being changed, things are being updated. There's a lot of good happening, and there's a lot of blessings and opportunities happening. So Carl popped in my mind because I know that Carl is an expert in real estate investing, and I know that with all the opportunities that I see available right now, I thought that I would, uh, consult with Carl and find out what type of, uh, you know, opportunities are opening up in real estate right now. Because I'm sure there are opportunities in real estate that are opening up that can be uh, taken advantage of and also used to benefit to help people and to help each other as we go along. So with that, I would just like to introduce Carl Dexter. He's a real estate expert, and I'd just like him to share some of the things that he knows about that we can be looking at and that we can be doing to increase our, prosperity in the area of real estate.
Yes, and so with that, thank you so much, Amen. And again, this is New Connections and Empower You with our Streams of Income episode. And we would like to now present to you Mr. Carl Dexter. And I'm hoping you will share a little bit more, I'm sure you will, about your background and your journey. And I have some information, some background, information rather, some about real estate and estate planning and different things like that. So I am all ears right now. So thank you, Carl Dexter, for joining us today. And the floor is yours, sir.
Well, I want to commend you for putting together the group that empower people in entrepreneurship, because that is so important for people, Black Americans, people of any color, to want to better themselves and look at taking advantage of opportunities to create wealth and pass on to their family or their estate. So thank you for the things that you do, because after just you making an introduction about empowering people and looking how to make money, it's like, wow, it actually just touched my heart. And the reason why I say that is before coming on to this video, I was watching on YouTube a video about Jim Crow in the North and how they had deeds to restrict Black folks from owning property. And this started around 1909 up to Thurgood Marshall's ruling this in the Supreme Court. And real estate is one of the greatest ways for us as Black folks, anyone, to be able to acquire wealth. Because when you can acquire wealth, property, pass on to your estate, it's amazing what you can do. And real estate today is a great way for anyone to be able to create wealth in a period of less than 5 years. They can be out of create enough wealth where they don't have to work a job anymore. They can work them way into having their own business and learn things as far as business things that they would never learn these things just from, just their day-to-day activities. But being around people like yourself and putting this together, it makes a big difference. So once again, thank you for the things that you guys are doing to be able to share with people how they can better themselves, as well as own a piece of the American dream, which is real estate. So with me, just give you a little bio about myself. I've been involved in real estate for more than 30 years. Very unconventional, the things that I do. And when I first came on, you perhaps saw I had to change my name. I had Arbitrage LLC as one of my companies. And another one of my companies is Real Estate Acquisition Group, which is a franchise that we're going through the United States nationwide to sell franchise, how people can buy, fix, flip real estate and do things in real estate to make a lot of money. When I say a lot of money, you know, $250,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year from home. And that's part-time work in real estate. And with that, the company that I put together, and I teach and train and do these things on a regular basis. So I have, you know, quite a bit of knowledge in this here. And I love teaching, I love sharing. So my company I do this thing which I specialize in pre-foreclosure properties. And with pre-foreclosure properties, that's where you find the greatest opportunities to be able to make money. When I say make money, some people say, I want to make fast money. And we all want to make fast money, you know, but what's the definition of fast money? Well, in real estate and things I do, a person can pick up 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000, $60,000 in a period of 60 days or less, okay? To me, that's fast money.
That's absolutely money, yes.
And it's legal too, all right?
That's what makes it so sweet.
Yes, it is legal. And I think if I don't have on this computer, but I would download some things, transfer things from my phone onto this computer. So in the future, we ever do this again, I can share some files of things I've done. Here's what I say, here's what I've done. And you can say, you made $50,000 in 45 days. Yes, here's a check, here's a contract, and you can see it. It's just all very plain. These are things I like to share with people, how things work, because they see it, and I can explain how it works. As wow, I never thought about that. I didn't know I can do this. I didn't know I can do that. So if we do this again, I'll be sure to transfer some details, the picture I have on my phone into my computer, and then I can share transactions and how they work and give people ideas as far as what is available in real estate and the kind of money they can make if they're around people who are doing it and are committed to it. It makes a big difference in their life. Today, I teach something called a pre-foreclosure dragnet. I share with people how they can buy real estate or make money in real estate through 8 different ways, how they can acquire and do real estate deals to be able to help other people, at the same time help themselves. And even today, with this market being the way it is, from the China virus and the lockdown, we have the CARES Act. And just as of 2 days ago, there's a house we're looking at in Auburn, California. The property is in foreclosure. The lender is saying they would not grant any more, they would not extend push out the foreclosure date. But because of new information come out about the CARES Act, and the CARES Act work this way with real estate and government-backed mortgages. If there's any loan that is FHA, VA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, small business, SBA, Ginnie Mae, if there's any loan that's guaranteed, insured by the government, without any paperwork, without any signatures at all, a person can get 2 6-month extensions on their mortgage without to make payments. That means up to a year, okay?
Mr. Dexter, what was that? What is it called? What kind of act?
It's in the CARES Act that was passed by Congress here when they gave the stimulus money for the CARES Act here just a couple months ago. So with the CARES Act, it's a person can get 2 months, or they can get 2 extensions they can go a whole year without making their mortgage payments. And all you do is you call your lender. Hey, I want to take advantage of I've been affected by the China virus. I want to take advantage of the forbearance agreement that's allowed in the CARES Act. And from that point on, they ask you a few questions over the phone, boom, they're granted to you. But the thing is, the loan must be a government-backed mortgage. If it's private, doesn't apply. If it's a government-backed mortgage on a home, yes, you're entitled to that. I've already done several of those already for people to where they already got one extension for 6 months without to make any payments. And it doesn't affect your credit. There's no late payments that are accrued on those deferred payments. There's no late penalties at all. So those are some of the benefits that you learn from. Now I share that with you to say this. There's a home that's in foreclosure right now that we're working on. And in the business that I work in, I do a lot of things for people. We have a contract with them. Sometimes you meet these people that they look to get everything they can from you in an agreement, And then as soon as you do everything for them, put the fire out, they tell you, sorry, I don't know you, go fly a kite. Thank you for helping me out for free, and I'm not gonna honor the contract.
Mm.
But so I have those people, and you deal with those a lot in people in foreclosure because just the nature of the beast, and I anticipate that. However, there's a property in Auburn, California, where the lender is not going to extend. We just found out 2 days ago that the loan is Fannie Mae backed mortgage. So after we consummate the transaction with the homeowner who cannot afford the home anymore, and if the homeowner got another 6 months or a year, it's not going to change much in their life because it's just they got to make the payments up down the road. They're just to buy them more time to sit there for free. However, in our case, we're going to look to do a 50-50 joint ownership, a 50-50 split with the homeowners. Where we come in, we fix the property, and then we're going to flip the property. We're going to split the profits after we recover our cash, 50-50. So in this case, here's going to benefit us because when we enter the contract with her, we'll then contact the lender and we'll say to them, we want to put the home through the CARES Act forbearance program. And for that 6 months, we don't have to be concerned about any payments on the house. And there's no late fees and accumulation of charges of that nature. Then we'll go ahead and sell the property, pay the loan off, and at the same time, the homeowner get their 50%, we get our 50%, we move on, and we're all happy.
That's beautiful. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's amazing. I've acquired so much information over the years, and I really have it's like having a 1,000-piece puzzle, and I just need some help putting them together. So this is beautiful. Oh wow. Please continue.
I know a little bit about this uh, particular technique that you use. One of the things that I like to ask you, since I have you here personally, is could you give me an example of a spill that you would use when you first meet a homeowner?
Now, it depends on the condition of the homeowner and what their situation is. As I shared with you before, my specialty is pre-foreclosure properties. These are people who have already fallen behind. The bank is threatening to foreclose on them. A lot of cases, the house needs fix-up work and so forth. And also, I want to share before I even speak about that is I'm a baby boomer. Okay, 1944 to 1964, you have a lot of baby boomers, and with properties today, there are a lot of homes that go into foreclosure, and the owner of the property is deceased. They passed on. Okay. I was at one last week here on Cromwell here in Sacramento. We're looking at buying that property. Owners passed on, so now we're looking to acquire that property. But nonetheless, often when there's no estate planning, the house got to be probated. Okay. And when you got all the different people may be entitled to, got an heir, got 3 children, 4 children, depending on the situation, that takes time to probate an estate. At the same time, you got people who do not know what they're doing. And you got people, the heirs, hey, I want money, I want to get my money and go. There are lots of things you can do there. So every situation when I talk to owner, depend on their situation. I don't say the same thing to them because every situation is different.
Okay, so just give us a random example.
Yeah, maybe.
But traditionally, a property is in foreclosure.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, just approaching again. I have the same question as our men because I pass properties all the time, and again, I've acquired a lot of information. I've paid for education. I have the pieces. It's just the way I learn is better just having someone walk me through the process. And already being in real estate for that long, there are people who are out there who are offering this information, but you don't know who to trust. I've been in real estate a long time. I've been in and out. My family owned property, and I carried a real estate license for a long time, and you just don't know. It's kind of shark-filled waters. People don't really want to split their money when they're an agent because they already have to split it. So I was very timid about working with people because when they know you don't know, they'll take advantage. So
yes,
yeah, how do we approach people? Because I don't have a problem talking to people. I just need to know what I'm talking about, and those are the pieces. So yes, please continue.
Yeah, and so of course with foreclosures, the thing that helps us out so much is the fact that I've been at this for a lot of years. I've learned a lot of stuff. Been involved in contract disputes and litigation. I've got a $90,000 judgment against a gentleman a house here in Sacramento where his house in foreclosure, and met him there, brought his wife. She doesn't speak much English. And his trustee sale was in 2 days. We advanced money to stop his trustee sale. Then at that point, he brought the keys to us with his wife, gave the keys to us to start doing renovation of property. And 2 weeks into the deal, after our documents were recorded, he said, hey, we don't want to do the deal anymore. And my wife don't want to sell the house. Now, she wasn't on title. He said, my wife don't want to sell the house. We just want to give your money back to us, but thank you for putting the fire out for us, okay?
Wow.
Long story short, we prevailed in court. I got a judgment for $90,000. I'm in possession of the property. But I'm saying you meet people like that there, but as long as you have your stuff together, it really reduces, litigation. So because real estate is a very litigious business.
Definitely.
Very litigious. So when I come across a homeowner in foreclosure, I say to them, because we market to people specifically in foreclosure. And from that, let's see, I may be able to share something with you on my screen here.
Okay, so I'll have to give you there you go. You should be able to share now.
Okay, let me look if I can go to, let's see, all right. I'm going to, all right. So let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, oh, there we go, right there. Okay. You see my card here? What do you see on the screen? Because let me make him.
See your card on one of my screens, but not on the other. I have 2 screens open.
Okay, so you do see the card here, special notice to homeowner.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now this is one of the cards I market to substandard properties. Okay, the homes are vacant, and this one of the cards I market to those people there of substandard properties. And I came across one just the other day. It was this house here. Okay, this house here I'm driving it by, it's in foreclosure. This was less than 2 weeks ago. And this notice here, let me see if I can increase so you can see it. What it says here on that notice.
Okay.
Okay. Now this house in foreclosure is here in the Greenhaven pocket area, which is a very nice area. And I saw it was in foreclosure. I'm coming home. I drove by the house. I said, wow, this house is in my neck of the woods. But it says dangerous building, do not occupy. After that, I went to that house. I walked up to the front door, and I went ahead and I collected some information off the front door. And this information here, it says, emergency contact Nancy Clemmer. Here's her phone number, 916-308, blah, 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 blah. House is not for sale, not for rent, not a homeless shelter, blah, blah, blah. So I called her, and it was 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. She answered her phone, and she's in Michigan, okay?
Oh, wow.
Even though she said the house is not for rent, not for sale, but that was then. Things have changed. So now she wants to do something with the house.
Love it.
And so the house is vacant, it's in foreclosure. And so I just said to her, I went by the house here, I saw the sign there, and what are your plans? She said, well, I actually want to be able to, see if I can renovate the house and try to get it fixed up. Like, she want to be able to fix it up, but she's trying to get a loan. And now the lender's foreclosing her as well. So I said to her, well, if you need some money, maybe I can help you with some money here. I don't live far from the home. You're in Michigan. If you need me to check on the house, I was doing all this to look at building rapport with her, where I'm just a few minutes from the house. And so she said, yes, I definitely may need your help down the road. I said, tell you what, is it okay if I contact you in 30 days to see where things are? She said, yes, it is, Carl. I said, I would do just that. So that is what I'm going to do with her. I put on my computer to call her back in 30 days from now, okay? And one thing I do want to share is, this is what I teach in my class as far as the pre-foreclosure dragnet and how we come across properties. The number one way we do through probates. I mentioned about probate properties here. Then we do substandard properties, assignment of contracts or interest, junior mortgages, bankruptcy, abstract judgment liens, short sales, and surplus funds. These are the things that we market to in properties that are pre-foreclosure dragnet, how we come across properties and able to do real estate deals. And like I said, people who just want to buy, fix, and flip real estate as their mainstay, they're missing the boat. They're missing hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for other ways they can make money in real estate. Other ways, because of the fact that there's just so many ways to make money in real estate that people don't know about these ways. If you just want to buy, fix, and flip,
Okay,
that's fine.
we clear up until a certain point. It's getting choppy now a little bit.
Pardon me?
Can everybody hear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And when I say this, as far as like I say, probates, one of my lawyers that handled our probates for us, we're like 75% of her business here in Sacramento. We do a lot of probates. And with that, probates is a great way because when people pass on, they have no estate planning, that person passes on, the heirs to that estate, a lot of them just want to sell and get out of the property and move on. If it needs fix up, this is where you come, you can buy it at a cheap price. Or when you come across heirs who say, hey, I want money, I want to get my share. If you got 4 people who are beneficiaries to an estate, and let's suppose that in a perfect world, there's like $100,000 net profit. They fix the house and sell $100,000, $25,000 each. One of the things we do is we do what is called an assignment of interest. We'll give them a discounted, you want money today? Great. We'll give them the assignment interest to us today, but for a lesser amount because they get money today and we're getting the future value down the road. Okay, so we do that with interest in property or the entire property as a whole. And that's where the assignment of contract or interest comes into play. And like I say, junior mortgages, I have one I'm working with right now. It's been asleep for more than 10 years, the junior mortgage. The lender is now coming back and want to foreclose on the property, demanding payments after being asleep for more than 10 years on the junior mortgages. Asleep means there was no payments made, the lender didn't make any noise about it. Now the values increase. Now they come back and say, hey, we want our money. And they're getting it now. And so, but there are ways you can come in, you can buy a mortgage at a discount, the same way you do interest, and you can pick those properties up or an interest in those properties, reduced value today for future value tomorrow. Bankruptcies, of course, when people are faced with foreclosure, a lot of people file bankruptcy to stop a trustee sale at the very last minute. We track those properties through our system, people in bankruptcy, and we know how to stop properties the very same day of the sale through doing a Skeleton 13 bankruptcy. Things I teach in classes, homeowner says, hey, my bank's not gonna work with me. Great, they wanna do the deal with us, but we don't have enough information from them, meaning we don't know how much is owed on the property, we don't have enough details to see if we can even do the deal, but it passed our smell test where it looks like it's property, is equity in the property. What we'll do then is we will do what is called a Skeleton 13 bankruptcy, file that, stop the trustee sale, then we'll get all the information from the lenders, how much is in arrears, how much is owed on the first, how much owed the second, any liens on the property. Great, we got enough equity in the property, then we can move forward with consummated deal with the homeowner. But we're to track bankruptcies to know that when a homeowner files bankruptcy piece of property that we've been tracking, we then can know when they get dismissed from bankruptcy. And at that point, we go back, we approach them again. By the way, I understand you have a pending foreclosure sale, the bankruptcy has been dismissed. We have a program called a foreclosure cancellation guarantee program. And our foreclosure cancellation guarantee program, once we sign that contract with you, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, we guarantee you that your house will not go to auction. So those are things we do when we contract. When we track properties that are in bankruptcy, they have a lot of equity in them, and the homeowner file those and they have no other option, then we can come and approach them on our program to do a joint venture with them or even buy the house completely from them. Number 6 is abstract judgment liens, and here's where a lot of folks miss money here. I mean, you can pick up, $3,500 here, $10,000 there. This is just extra money. When we look at properties and you get the prelim, you see there may be liens on the property. If it's with a private party, even some institutions, they will settle those judgments for 10, 15 cents, 20 cents on the dollar. And what we'll do with the homeowner is we'll say, It was one we did with Capital One here a couple months ago. We can settle the judgment lien with the judgment creditor at a discounted price. We tell the homeowner, by the way, we're gonna settle this lien for you. Say this lien is $10,000, and we negotiate with the creditor for $5,000. But when we close the deal with the homeowner, we get paid the $10,000 at escrow when the property sells. You with me? I'll just recap. So there's a judgment lien for $10,000. We agree, the homeowner know it, and we got the judgment creditor says, yes, we're owed $10,000. We enter into a settlement agreement with the judgment creditor. Say we settle that lien for $4,000 or $5,000, great. We tell the homeowner, great, we got this lien paid, house sales, we get paid our $10,000. We get paid the $10,000 at the very end. You got it, all right? You pick up $5,000 there, all right? Done that plenty of times, okay? And then number 7 here was short sales. Short sales are so unique, especially when they're reverse mortgages, all right? So we did one at 230 West M Street in Rio Linda, California. Now with the short sale reverse mortgage, you've been a real estate agent, having a license. Here's what we did. I handled the probate. There was no profit in this property at all that was made, but there was profit made for everybody, and it worked out a very unique way. With the reverse mortgage, there's guidelines, because it's backed by FHA, there are guidelines that they must follow. Now, you're gonna love this. It's where when the person brought me the deal, I handled the probate, I got the probate fee of, the administrative fee of $8,000, okay? Then my partner, we worked together and we, all share money and so forth. He got the listing on the property to do the short sale. Real estate agents love this because on a short sale, he was able to represent the buyer and the seller. I was representing the estate to sell it to the person who wanted to buy it, and he doubled in the deal. The commission was $15,000, okay?
Which
And so
he would have gotten if he would have just listed the property himself, because he'd have had to split it with his broker,
yeah,
etc. Oh, yes.
yeah, yeah. And this worked with reverse mortgage. So when they did the appraisal came in 95%. They can go 95% of the appraisal, and they did a appraisal that wasn't. They did a very nice appraisal. I really like reverse mortgage appraisal when they've been doing them in these properties. Did their appraisal, so we picked the property up for, it was 200. We picked the property up for $232,000. The property ended up selling for, the guy who bought it, brought the deal to me and bought it. So we did did the short sale. He actually found the property and he actually fixed the property and sold it. But we had to do the short sale and doubling the deal. So we short sale, did the double of the deal. Mark fixed the property and sold it. He sold the property for just under $400,000. So he made profit, got it for $232, doubling the deal. I got commissions for being the representative state, and at the same time, he was able to fix the property and sell it and make a good chunk of money. But those reverse mortgages are so unique because of the fact that FHA will go 95% of the value at that time, and they pay full commission, 6% to one agent.
Yeah.
So this time we do our short sales. We love them, and they're great. And then the other thing is surplus funds. Surplus funds is something most people do not know about. The largest check I got today was $29,000 for a surplus funds check. And how that works is this. When a property goes to foreclosure, it's sold at auction, people don't realize it's called a foreclosure sale is called an involuntary or a forced sale. Involuntary or forced sale because the homeowner did not volunteer to sell the house. The bank forced them to sell the house at auction. Any money over and above to settle the debt and liens in that property, the homeowners, they don't know this, the money goes to them. They're still entitled to the money. Those are the surplus funds. So we charge anywhere from 15% to 33 to 30% to help them collect those surplus funds.
Funds, because without the knowledge, you ain't getting it.
Yes. And so with that, and even sometimes people are in foreclosure, they panic, the house is vacant, they bolt from the house, and when the foreclosure attorney send the documents to them for surplus funds, they're not even there. And do get them, they get this lawyer, they get the letter from the lawyer who's been foreclosing them. They say, I'm not going to open that. I already know it's bad news. They throw it away.
Yeah, and it's
So
very sad because if you just don't, it's so much that's kept from us. If you just don't know, then we could just ask for it, and it's there. It's yours. They can't do anything with it. It just sits there, and so that's a beautiful thing. I'm loving everything about what you're sharing. I will not interrupt. Keep going, please.
oh, I enjoy your input, so feel free. But yeah, so this is one of the things where we pick up, and I have actually 2 surplus funds that we're working on right now, and they're so neat because this is easy money. It doesn't have any risk involved in it because the fact that it's money already sitting there. You know, we talk about when I was a little kid growing up. You believe all these, you know, the tooth fairy, and go to the end of the rainbow would be a pot of gold. Well, this is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, all right? And I do have a short story I want to share with you that not related to real estate. I realized when I was about 6 years of age, there was no such thing as a tooth fairy. And here's how I realized that. I actually had a loose tooth and I removed it myself and put it on my pillow. And the next morning, there was no money underneath it. I didn't tell my parents about it. I just removed my tooth and put it underneath there. And there's no money. There's no tooth fairy.
Exactly. It's I so again I just want to reiterate how much I appreciate this because these are the things. It's just a matter of having the information, and even with the history of real estate in my family, they owned property long before I was born, and but they didn't know how to pass down that information. So there was no communication as far as teaching how to do it, but I've always had it in my blood. And even then, without someone to walk me through it, I was like, okay, it just like you said seemed too good to be true. Just seemed too good to be true, but it's not. And this is something people do this day after day after day after week after month after year and make so much money hand over fist, and without the knowledge we feel like it's not possible, or the limited mindsets that that have been reinforced in us. So I keep saying I'm not going to interrupt, but I just so appreciate.
Yes, and I also like to say, Carl, that we would like you to come back. We will be happy to participate in your classes, but we also would like you to come back and participate in some of our forums too, because we
Absolutely.
have people that need to have this knowledge. And I know you love sharing it, and I know you love working with people too. I'd like you to talk about that a little bit too, because some people don't understand that you are actually a gift to them, you know. So I want you to expound on that part of the relationship, how you do it. I know how you do it. I know you do the partnership, and to me it's a beautiful thing. So I just want you to
Yes.
talk about that a little bit.
Yes, please.
Okay. And I do want to share some with you. If you can see this date, see that date on that check?
Yes.
The date? All
15,
right.
20.
I mentioned a property at 230 West M Street, and you can see the address there.
Yes.
This is where I was an administrator of the estate. I got a check for, without putting any money into the property. So
10,000.
that was a check I received. That was a $10,000 check I told you about, handling the probate. We got commissions from the agent, got commissions from the doubling the deal. I got money picked up money from being the administrator. It's like, this is ways that people don't know how to make ways of doing things in real estate that people just overlook.
Well, we're not going to overlook it anymore, Mr. Dexter. We are going to absolutely
Come on, girls, Carl, don't call me Mr. Dexter. That's my daddy.
Yes, sir. Okay, Carl. Well, we are not overlooking you. I want you to know if you never felt appreciated, we are about to share and shower you with appreciation because I have my mission in life is to share this kind of information with people. I've acquired it over the years. I've heard this. All of the techniques that you mentioned. I mean, maybe 80% of them I've already heard and know that it happens and know that it can happen. But again, without having the trust in someone or myself to be able to actually carry it through, I just truly feel like we are absolutely blessed. I know Dr. Pearman was able to sign on for a few minutes. I don't know if she's still, yeah, I think she's still on. But we have and other people who are absolutely interested. I will not put anybody in front of you who's going to waste our time at all. So please know
Well,
we are at attention in all ears. I'm going to stop talking. Please continue.
Can I,
well,
hi, can I say something? This is Heather. This is Dr. Pearman. I have to get, I'm actually in a teacher's training, and, you know, I told Manaima that if I can, when we get a break, I'm going to jump in, and I stuck to that. But Mr. Dexter, I just want to say that, I just want to say thank you to you personally. I think that what you're doing is changing the world, you know. I'm just picking up the love from people getting opportunities to reclaim something that they intentionally maybe have had the initial intention to work hard for. And, you know, we understand how life unfolds sometimes, but I just want to share that's my takeaway from the few moments that I was supposed to be on. Also, the other gentleman that's here are men. You know, I've just had the opportunity to gain so much from these individuals that are touching people's lives. That's what my work is about, you know. And I just want to say thank you to having the opportunity to sit in for the few minutes, because it's very special. That's all that I can
Yeah.
say right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. P.
Absolutely, you're more than welcome. You know, the thing is with my motto is this. Our motto is, I can show you better than I can tell you. The things I say, I got transactions for all the things I've done to let people know it is real. Just like I told you about the property, hey, there's a check I got for that one there. And that was just, since this virus lockdown, the stimulus checks I received in the 2 months were $113,000. I didn't get any from the government. That was from the deals I closed, okay? It's like, okay, $113,000 in 2 months. Okay, I'll accept that, all right? But it's just part of just the business. And I'm gonna back up a bit. In 2008, you know, the real estate market crashed. Okay, I lost my shorts. Man, I lost yours too. You didn't know, but I lost your shorts too, all right? And I said then that I would never ever let this happen to me again, to where I'm in real estate. And my business model was just so limited to the buy, fix, and flip. For the downturn, I lost a lot, but I said that would never happen to me again, because all the things I've expanded and went into now is like my portfolio in real estate, because these 8 ways of picking up money, it is amazing. Absolutely amazing, to where you can make money and not be concerned, stress out where you're gonna get the next check from. That just doesn't resonate with me anymore. And you know, the thing is with real estate, why I like it so much is because, like I say, why real estate? Perfect business, or just buying a home for yourself. I want to mention this. My daughter, renovating her house in South Natomas area, 95834 zip code. It was a foreclosure. The owner passed away, and it's a probate. Now, now you know, when you go and buy a home, your traditional way of buying a home, you're going to be, oh, where's your 2 years of tax returns? All right, want to see your, you know, your credit score. Want to see your debt to income ratio. These things are all important in buying a home and going and getting a conventional loan to buy a house. That's something that doesn't faze me at all. I don't look at that. I tell people, if you're looking to follow the masses, you have to go that route, that's fine. But my youngest daughter, she's in her house. She did not qualify with no bank loan because she couldn't get one anyway. She doesn't even have steady income at all. And her debt is very high. Nonetheless, she has a home right now in the Thomas area. And we're able to pick that house up in this day and age for $130,000. It's the 3-bedroom, 2.5 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath house. We bought the house for $130,000. The after repair value in the house is $350,000. Okay, so she moved out of my house into that house, and I'm happy because I don't like cats, and her cat's over there. That's fine with me. But
Wow, yes.
but she has her own house, and she didn't even have to qualify for a bank loan to Bank of America and also Bank of the West, because she's the administrator of the decedent's estate. She can, everything she handled the estate, she is the dead person in existence, that dead person today when it comes to talking to the banks, because she's handling the estate on behalf appointed by the court. So that's her house now. She makes payments on it. And here's what's interesting. That house, her principal, interest, tax, and insurance payments are $1,200 a month. It's a nice house too. $1,200 a month, which is a very, very nice deal on a house that payment's that low. So because she doesn't have a regular job, she actually is renting 2 rooms out. And from the book Cash Flow Quadrant, she's renting 2 rooms out, and now she'll be financially free because the 2 rooms she rent in her house will service her debt completely. She doesn't have to make any more house payment out of her pocket. She has other people servicing her debt because she rented rooms out, and now she's free. She can go and do things, and rent comes in, and she's able to buy her freedom. So anyway, but why real estate? Work from home. This is my office. I work from home. I have no overhead at all. And I talk about, part-time, you can make a lot of money, no equipment. I have a cell phone, a computer, and an e-fax to do my business. I have no inventory, no employees, low startup costs, success in my own backyard, and no license or degrees is required for me to do what I do. And of course, real estate satisfies a basic need. Everybody needs a place to stay.
And I said that almost every week of my 35 years of living with her. You're always going to need a place to live.
Yes.
Please say something about the trust and the LLC and how that allows you to do your business tax-free.
Yes. Well, I use my trust. I have a business trust I set up to do business. I use First Trust. I got several trusts that I set up to do business with that is not associated with me as an individual. The property my daughter is in, we're going to put that property in a trust as well, where the beneficiaries are, her, my wife, okay, and myself. And then I also use, when I first clicked on, you saw real estate, or you saw Arbitrage LLC. Arbitrage LLC is a company. Now, what I like now about California, now I don't have a California LLC. I don't pay the franchise tax board $800 every year, okay? I don't. I do have a title company I do business with. My LLC is set up in the state of Wyoming. And it costs me annual to keep my LLC there, $52 a year. However, I made it close my escrows in California at the title company I use without having to be registered with the franchise tax board or Secretary of State here in California, pay at $800 every year. I mean, $800 is not a lot of money. In 10 years, $8,000. 20 years is, $16,000 compared to, $52 a year I pay now. And of course, my LLC is not a one-party LLC, which is a non-essential or when you have a one-person LLC, you still got to pay your self-employment tax, because of what people did years ago. They separate LLC with just themselves, and people did that so they wouldn't have to pay FICA tax and payroll tax and so forth. No, you have 2 or more people, then you are a legitimate LLC. We can avoid, you can have to pay those self-employment taxes to the state of California or to the federal government for your FICA. So my LLC consists of myself and my family members. And of course, I control the major part of that there. And it's part of my estate planning, because when I die, LLC owns a property. They'll just continue to flow on through, and they can pick up and run and move on without having to go to court and probate and those things of that nature. So
yes, I've tried to tell people for so long, you gotta do your estate planning, and a lot of times people think they don't have enough to leave, but estate planning is so key, and those trusts are so incredibly valuable to us, and it's really just a lack of information. So I thank you for mentioning that, and I absolutely would very much like for us to do this again and maybe focus on 1 or 2 of your areas on each time. I mean, I want to kidnap you for like the rest of the year. We want to
I want to pause for just a moment here, and I want to introduce Ajmer, who arrived in the group, and I'd like him to talk a little bit about just give us like a little 2-minute, 3-minute if you can, about some of the development that you're doing right now.
Okay. Excuse me. Greetings. I'll try to be brief. I'm Dr. Lorde Jamir. I reside in Atlanta. I work in the film industry as well as a lot of other different industries, but primarily focusing on development on land on an international basis in Gambia. So we have that in place. What that is for, since we're going to be in the film industry, we're going to start create a studio My brother and I was talking about building Bitcoin farm mines and doing all kind of things there. But right now we're focusing on two things. Well, actually three, and I'll make those brief. One is Histrotech, which is a nonprofit, a 501c3, preserving history through art, science, and technology. So that is something that we're getting us to do, is to preserve our history, document it, move it forward, digitize it so it moves into the next generation. And then that there we own the information, so we control the information because it's data, it's history. Put it in blockchain technology, now it's preserved. That was a nonprofit. Moving into the profit, which is the television streaming network, where we're setting up television streaming channels. So we have educational channels such as this here, teaching and educating on a broad scale, because we could be on Roku, Fire Stick, and Amazon TV, and all the phones, iPhone and Android, as well as being able to do live stream and do all your social media, all your platforms, your Facebook, your Instagram, your IG, your TikTok, stream simultaneously to everyone at one time, and put it in a digital archive so it can be viewed later via your website, so you can sell your merch and things like that. So basically that's what we have in a nutshell. And appreciate your talk. I came in on the back end. I was in another conference, but you have a lot of information. We definitely want to keep you on board and figure out how we can actually put your information to work, because we need it as a people, for ourselves and as a people. And it's vitally important that we get you out to a broad perspective, and basically we're in a position to do that. So if we can figure out how we can make that happen, we ready.
Yeah.
Michael, I have a question for you. So Gambia, West Africa, you traveled there before?
I typically go twice a year.
Okay.
He's being modest. He owns land there too.
All right. My third home is Ghana. So Gambia is part of the ECOWAS, I believe, part of the 17. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ghana is my third home. I'll be heading there in the next 60, 90 days. And I live there in Dominican Republic and here in California as well. So yeah, just good.
Yeah.
And
we have a couple of things going. We have like seven acres on the waterfront that's apart from the other 200 acres that's on the other side of the waterfront that we are looking to develop in terms of a resort, education, just build that whole thing out. Because as you may know, Gambia's dollar is 50 to 1. Unemployment is right around $40 a month. There's just, yeah. And so there's a lot that we can do. I think that with the climate that we're in right now, people should, and as we should, reconnect to the continent, because there's a lot of things happening that we can do and should be doing together. Even with the project down there, you familiar with Eco Atlantic?
I'm not.
Oh, Nigeria. They're building a Dubai city style in Nigeria.
Okay. My virtual assistant lives in Nigeria, and so when my visa expired back in 2012, I have not been back to Nigeria since. I've been there about 6 or 8 times, but nonetheless, I definitely encourage, if any person, any Black American have not gone to the continent of Africa, they should go there. They should go there, because I tell you now, a lot of us, I look at what's going on in climate today, there's so much animus towards America. But you go there and you live, you see how people are suffering, the unemployment, the water, the electricity, the roads, the mosquitoes, malaria. And we have it made, and we can do so much to help people over there. And you have no idea how many people I know in West Africa, because I've been going there now for 12 years. I know a lot of folks in West Africa, they want to come here so badly for opportunities here, because they're suffering there. And I see money and those stuff. I got stuff in my house now. If you look behind me, see those yellow tote containers there?
Right.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna share with you. These here are going to
Yeah.
This container here, these are going to West Africa. Those are bath towels.
Yeah.
Those are, the towels. Okay.
Bath towels, yeah. So I like to give people opportunities where they can sell stuff. My
Right.
freight forwarder, which is in Oakland, I couldn't buy enough at Costco to ship
Right.
there. So I
Right.
ship them there and they sell quickly. People can make money.
Right.
Whatever I can do to help them make money there, I do stuff. I buy this here, Irish Spring soap.
Right. Right.
There. So
Right.
anyway.
Right.
Excited.
Yeah, I've been doing that as well. I've been, that's how we started our store. We basically just go to like the dollar store. You go to thrift stores. You buy the best stuff they got. You ship it over there. A profit's a profit, and they love it. It brings new
Yes.
stuff and fresh, and they're happy.
I have a quick question. Have either of you heard of the Buy Black movement? Black movement. I'm sure you've heard of it, but there's an organization developed by a gentleman named Delzino Wilson Debriano. And for all of the things that we're purchasing in the dollar stores and things like that, we
Mhm.
could be purchasing those things from us. And it's an organization of people who are offering, again, soaps, lotions, whatever it is
Yeah.
we're looking for. We can be buying it from black owned businesses and sending it over there instead of, again, Sam's,
Right. Right. Right.
those
Right.
places. We can, and especially for yourself and those of us who are conscious enough to understand that every little dollar counts, we can begin putting those dollars back into the community and deliberately using that to build in Africa. I can't
Absolutely.
express, I don't know the word to express how excited I am right now to meet you gentlemen and have these conversations. I did meet with you, Dr. Lord,
Yes.
or in one of the other sessions that we did. I'm just so excited right now because I definitely want to be a part of the planning for us to take that trip to Africa. I did visit one time when I was in high school. I have to thank my mother, rest her soul, for making sure that I got on that trip because I didn't understand the value when she sent me. I really didn't.
Wow.
But it's
She's talking, Carl, she's talking about a trip that we are planning right now. We're putting together a delegation to go to Africa. And right now we specifically looking at 3 countries, Senegal, Dakar, and Gambia, but I want to add Egypt onto the trip. I belong to a local group here, which is also in Oakland, called WOSE. WOSE is um, it's like sort of like a African style spiritual organization, and they're also planning a trip to Africa as well. So I'm trying to see if we can synchronize our trips because we have a lot of very intelligent doctors and people who can go and break down the pyramids and what this and the the meta nature and the history and all that kind of science. And so I just want to experience the ambiance of that. And so right now we are in the area where we are doing things that allows us to have the capital to make these type of trips. And that's why we brought you in, Carl, because we know that you know how to get access to that money.
yeah. And
I like that segue.
for anything, if we can do something, I mean, for you, Carl, it would be second nature. But if you could help us to maybe put together something where we can create a way of funding this trip, and or in addition to that, whatever it is that we can acquire from a partnership as far as creating scholarships for people who may not be able to afford it, or creating the sessions for people to create those streams of income for themselves, and the education necessary for them to understand that we don't have to just do this business here in the States, that we can do business overseas in Africa where we need to do it. Because again, if and when the United States implodes, we need to know how to get where we need to go. In a nutshell.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, by the way, Dr. Lord, I used to live in Brookhaven Heights.
Okay.
I used to take MARTA to S7 was my stop and walk to my place from MARTA S7.
Okay.
I used to
Brookhaven. Brookhaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to also own a property down in Brunswick, Georgia, near the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm originally, I've lived in Savannah since a young boy.
Okay. And I still have a property in Gwinnett County on Manitoba Way. Near,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. This is
Wow.
I can't tell you and how exciting it is to me, and this has been kind of the energy we've shared it with our men, is usually on my Saturday morning sessions, and just having the energy of you amazing melanated intelligent beautiful
Yeah. Thank you.
wisdom and knowledge with us, and I'm gonna cry. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys, sincerely. It truly is very, very empowering and encouraging, because we all know, we hear the stories, of women complaining about men and men complaining about women, and I need to know you guys are a light in the darkness, and I want to just applaud you and thank you and wish you, whether you have
Thank
children or not, happy Father's Day this weekend.
you.
And
Thank you.
most
Thank you.
definitely be putting this.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Same to
Yes.
you.
I want to wrap up this meeting right now. And Carl, I'd just like to know if I can extend the invitation for you to come back and spend time with us again.
That would
We
be
would,
fine.
Oh,
all right, all
Great.
right.
you. Yes, you and Dr. Lord and our men always, 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 always appreciate you. Thank you so much, gentlemen. This has
No
been
problem.
amazing, amazing. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll do this again sooner than later.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Namaste and ashe.
All right.
Namaste.